Spencer Lazara, MMAinterviews.tv, alongside Mr. Josh Burkman. On a tear, man. You've reached a great fight. You're taking on Jon Fitch Friday Night World Series of Fighting 3, of course, live on the NBC Sports Network. It's a rematch for you, and it's always nice, like you said in the promo, to get a shot at a rematch and sort of avenge a loss.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this fight with Fitch. When he got cut, I had thought there was a feeling, in the air that World Series of Fighting was going to go out and get him. And, as a competitor, as an athlete, you always want a chance to avenge a loss, especially if you think that you've improved and gotten better, which I think I have. I think it's, a great fight for me and a great opportunity to face a top 10 guy.
He seems a little more similar, I would say, and less evolved over the last 7 years than you. Like you just said, your footwork, man, in that last fight with Aaron Simpson, phenomenal. Your kickboxing really looks great, and also, of course, the takedown defense.
Yeah, Jon Fitch said in his interview that he thinks he's leveled up 20 times, and that I haven't, that he doubted that I had. And, that makes me think that he's underestimating, me. And how much I've improved, because I do take a lot of pride in the fact that I've gotten a lot better. One thing I've said in my interviews is that, earlier in my career I was a fighter, and the definition of fighter is to struggle, and I made it a struggle for myself. I would train for fights, and then I would take time off, and until I got the next fight, then I would train. That's why I trained, is to get in shape to be ready to fight. And now, I understand the principles of mixed martial arts much better, and I'm training to be the best that I can be now. And that has made all the difference in the world in me as a person and me in my career, which is, in a sense, that my fighting is just a reflection of who I am and how I'm living.
When did you kind of make that realization, and how did it come about?
I always knew it. I just liked living the lifestyle. Sure. I always said the first 30 years are for me, and I lived them for me. But I think, I got an injury, and when I got injured, I realized that we're not going to be healthy forever. We can't just take advantages of our bodies, and it turned me onto I was always healthy, and I was, but just to be more healthy all the time, not half of the time, and then I just realized, I'm getting older. And I love a woman that's in my life, and, I wanted to just have a family. So the first 30 were for me, the next 30 are for my family. Yeah. And, so I got married. And when I got married, I feel like that took me from being, selfish and being a kid, and it really turned me into a man. It grounded me. And then when me and my wife had a little boy, that just was the most rewarding thing that could have happened to me, So that switch in becoming a husband and becoming a father turned me into a man, and it grounded me, and it helped me to kind of take all those lessons that I learned along the way and dial them in with the help of my wife.
Sure.
Of course.
So no more going out drinking. You're home with the wife and child.
Right.
That makes it easier to get up in the morning and hit that gym. Obviously, you're out in Utah, right? That's where you had this camp?
Yeah. I train in Utah now at Pit Elevated. A lot of people still say Team Quest, and I learned a lot of great things under Robert Fallis at Team Quest, but I'm no longer, associated with them. I'm in Utah at Pit Elevated. We're coached under Jason Mertlick, and a great group of guys. A lot of up-and-coming guys, and Court McGee. He's not up-and-coming. He's just, he's there. Ramsey Nijam, Steven Sire. A lot of really good guys brought, in different organizations too. Rad Martinez, and we're all under that Pit umbrella, in Utah. So. I think that those guys being hungry and trying to make it has only rubbed off on me and made me a little younger and a little hungrier.
Definitely. So, have you felt sort of this momentum gaining and really like, it seems like almost like you say a switch sort of went off, and all of a sudden you're finishing guys, you're killing everybody to get to this point, and now you're taking on one of the best welterweights of the decade. Really, you have to put him in that caliber, and a fight that I know you're confident you're going to win.
Yeah, it wasn't just a switch though. It was when I got injured, and outside of the UFC, I came. I herniated a disc in my neck. I had 4 bulging discs in my back. I had arthritis. I had nerve damage. I had the back of a 40-year-old man, a bad back of a 40-year-old man, And so in that time off, I had to heal myself and heal my back, and it made me, understand a lot of things on another kind of a level. And then I said, okay, now I'm healthy. I'm going to go into the gym. And I went back into the gym to train for a fight against a guy named Brandon Melendez, who is also on The Ultimate Fighter. And I didn't even know that I'd be able to get in the fight in that cage when I started my training camp. And I had a slow camp, and I wasn't able to wrestle as much, but I went into that fight and I knocked him out. And then my training just started getting better and better, and I was able to do more and more, and to where that has kind of gradually taken me here. And a lot of it was like, just a process of trying to figure out who I was, what my style is, and I'm finally honing in on it, because, a lot of fighters are serious, and a lot of them are, very, rough even, and for me, like, I like to fight. I like to compete. I like to perform. And now I'm having fun with it, and it comes out in my style and in the way that I am. And I think that it's taken me 10 years to just kind of figure that out and chip away at it. And I think you're exactly right. Now it's come to the point where I get to test my skills against one of the best in the world, and who's been one of the best in the world for the last 10 years.
Where do you feel like you've improved maybe the most? I mean, your kickboxing style is something that really shined to me, and you're moving in that Aaron Simpson fight. You're switching stances,
Right.
and just very fluid.
I think that my game, as far as the fighting style, has kind of improved in each area. Even in jiu-jitsu. But I don't show it much because I
showed it against Jaeger.
I showed it against Jaeger a little bit. And yeah. So I think that what's changed the most about me and what's improved the most is my discipline, the way that I warm up, the way that I am after a workout in stretching out, the way that I am focused. It's not hard work, because I work as hard as I've ever worked. I'm just much smarter in the way that I go about it. And then, massages and the healing arts of the martial arts, like I'm just, as I get older, your body starts to break down on you a little bit, and I've just learned to take care of myself better, and in that I can train harder and take more time off. So I think, but then with the martial arts, that helps me get better at all of them.
Definitely excited for the fight, man. Anything else you'd like to say, Josh?
No, just, this fight is, this organization is really good for this sport. It gives guys another platform to perform on. So thank you for the support of the World Series of Fighting, and thank you guys, continue to support this organization, because it's good for the sport.
Definitely good for the sport, and you will enjoy the fights, I guarantee it. This man in the main event, Josh Burkman, taking on Jon Fitch. World Series of Fighting 3 live on the NBC Sports Network. Be sure to tune in.